Good morning, Year 5. You'll notice I've got a bit of a different background. Oh, look, looks very sad and lonely without you guys here. We miss you here. Never mind, hopefully not too much longer. So, our lesson this morning is carrying on with decimals. Today we're moving on to comparing decimals. So, we've thought about how to read them and write them, and this is our next step on our learning journey. Okay, so your in focus task today. Elliot says that, so we've got two numbers here, 0.4 and 0.12. And Elliot says 12 is greater than 4, so 0.12 is greater than 0.4. And Ruby says, I disagree. So who do you think is correct? And I want you to find a way to prove it. You need to show me how you would prove it. So pause the video and have a go now in your book at proving, find it and prove it. Okay, right, okay, well done. So let's have a look at our answer then. So I'm sure that Elliot is correct. So this is me saying this, okay? I'm sure that Elliot is correct because the number 0.12 has 2 digits after the decimal point, but the number 0.4 only has 1 digit. That's what I think. So what do you think? See if you can tell me whether, am I right in my thinking or am I not right in my thinking? Okay, if you think I'm right, then you have to prove it, and you think I'm wrong, you've got to prove that I'm wrong. I won't be dissuaded. Okay, pause the video then and see if you can explain to me why I'm right or why I'm wrong in that one. Okay, right, so we are going to have a look into this then to make sure that we understand it. I'm not going to say whether Elliot is right and whether I'm right. We're going to look at it first. Now, I've put here a link. Now, this link is on your tapestry post. It's a website called MathSpot, and it's got some really good what we call manipulatives, and that's things that we can use. So because you're not in school and you don't have all the apparatus in school, it's a way that we can have a go at using things online. So if you go on that link on Tapestry, it will take you onto this page. I'm just going to share this page with you. Okay, so it looks like this. All right, MathSpot's manipulative blocks. So this gives you obviously your Dean's blocks. So we've got here a thousands block, a hundreds, a tens, and a ones. Okay, but we've been working with these as if they're decimals. So obviously in terms of decimals, we thought about this as being 1, worth 1 whole number. We've thought about this as being worth a tenth. It's a different colour to the one that we've been thinking about. So the one we've been looking at is yellow, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what colour it is. It's 10 by 10, which makes it a tenth. This is what we're thinking about for this one. This is a hundredth. A 10 block is a hundredth. And then the 1 block is worth a thousandth. So that's what we've been working with. So we're thinking about seeing if we can work out actually which is the greater number. Is it 0.12 and is it 0.4? And you have to prove it. Okay, so you can have a go at using these blocks. So remembering what they're worth, 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. So have a play with those blocks and see if you can use those to help you. You might like to set it up and show it and maybe take a picture if you want to and show me what you've proven. So if you just click on them and drag them over, you can get quite a few. Okay, you can get enough that you're going to need. So I'm going to leave you to have a little play with that. Okay. So pause the video now so you can have a go at that and then come back to me when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to quickly change my screen. Right, okay, so hopefully you've had a go at using the Deans on the website. So thinking about showing 4/10, 0.4, all right? So you're thinking about how you'd write this as a decimal, 0.4. And we can also show this as 4/10. So it would look like this, wouldn't it? 4/10. Okay, or 0.4. Right, okay. So let's look at it in a bit more detail. Some of you will have got this and you can move on. If you haven't understood it, keep listening, all right? If you've got it, move on to your guided practice. If you haven't, keep listening. Okay, so hopefully you worked out that if this is worth 0.1, right, this is 1/10, then we need 4 of them to make up 0.4, 4/10. And I've shown you here, look, 0.1, that's one of these blue squares is worth 0.1. So we need 4 of them to make our 0.4, which is one of the numbers that Elliot and Ruby are discussing. And that's worth 4/10. Okay, so have a look at this. Do you think that these 4 are the same? So if we've got this picture here of the 4 blocks here, is this showing me the same? No, it's not, is it? You know it's not, of course not. So I want you to have a think about what would this need to look like to be the equivalent of 4/10. At the moment, these are hundreds, and 4 hundredths is not the same as 4/10. So how many of these would we need to make what is the equivalent of 4/10? Okay, so pause at any point and have a little go. Okay, so no, each of these green blocks is 10 times smaller, isn't it, than a blue block? So how many green blocks are we going to need? How many of these do we need to make one of these? Think about it. Okay, let's have a look. Right, we need 10 of those to make one of these, don't we? 10 of these blocks, these green blocks, is the same as one blue block. So we've got here 4/10 is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. 40 of the green blocks. Now remember, each of the green blocks are hundredths, not tenths. So this was 4/10 because each of them are tenths, but these are hundreds. So we've got 40 hundredths. Okay. And actually, if we look at this calculation here, this is hundredths. So that's 100th multiplied by 40 equals 4/10. Okay, so 0.01, that's 100th. If we multiply it by 40, we've got 40 hundredths, haven't we? But that's the same as 4/10. Right, okay. So how could we make 0.12? Well, here's a way that we could make 0.12. We could use 1/10 and we could use 2 hundredths. 1/10 plus 2 hundredths equals 0.12. 0.1 plus 0.02 is worth 0.12. But here's another way that we could make it. We could actually replace our hundredths block with our tenths block with 10 hundredths blocks. So we could actually make it with 12 of our hundredths blocks. So actually, it is also 12 hundredths. That's how we're writing it. Okay. So 12 hundredths. Okay. So which is bigger? Going back to our original question. So let's just have another look at it. Elliot thinks that 0.12 is greater than 0.4 because 12 is greater than 4. Ruby disagrees. I said that I thought the number 0.12 has 2 digits after the decimal place, so it must be bigger. Am I correct? Well, hopefully this is what we found out. So 0.12, let me move myself. 0.12, we can make it like this. So we've converted it so that it's out of 100. So it's 12 hundredths. And 0.4 is actually worth 40 hundredths. So from looking at it like that, we can actually quite easily see that 40 hundredths is bigger. I've also shown you it with our tenths and our hundreds. Here we can see we need 4 of our tenths to make 4 tenths, and we need 1 tenth and 2 hundredths to make 12 tenths, or 12 hundredths, sorry. Okay, so in answer to our question then, the greater number is 0.4 because it has 4 hundredths and 0.12 has only got 1 hundredth in it. So there's your answer. That's what you needed to get towards. Okay, good stuff, guys. Hopefully you've understood that. So your guided practice today then. So you need to look on page 17 for your guided practice. And it's given you some of the blocks again. They all mean the same thing. So you're thinking about which number is bigger. And I want you to have a go at you using your more than and your less than symbols here. Okay, so be really careful. Crocodile eats the bigger number. So wherever the big section is where the bigger number is. So if I've got a number like that, if I've got a sign like that, the bigger number is on this side. Okay. Then your workbook, you need to look on pages 7 and 8. A little extension here. Can you also say how many tenths and hundreds there are in each of these numbers in questions 1A to 1D? All right, so you're continuing to think about which is less than on this side, which is greater than, and then using the symbols. So just a bit more practice with that. And then your extensions, which I think probably lots of you will move on to today. You've got some reasoning extensions here. The majority of you will be starting with these, and just really think about the language you're using in describing those. And then Maths Teasers group, again, I've given you an extension from the Maths Teasers book today, so questions 3 and 4. All saved on Tapestry, the answers are there as well, so you can check everything before you move on to your next stage. All right, any questions at all, pop it on Tapestry and we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that we come back and help you as soon as we can. All right, have a good time. Take care. Bye-bye.